Christy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 18 of my 2020 holiday card series. Today I'm going to be making a card using Sunny Studios Holy Night stamp set. So I've stamped out the 3 wise men and I'm going to be coloring them with my Copic markers. I stamped them in Lawn Fawn jet black ink on some Nina Solar White cardstock. So I'm going to begin with their skin, and I wanted each of them to have a different skin tone. For this first guy, I'm using E42, E43, and E44. I laid in some shadow up under his hair with that E44 and on the bottom of his hands, blended out with the E43, and finished with the E42. And while I have those markers out, I'm going to take away the E42, add in the E47, and color the hair of the wise man on the far right. So I added a little bit of shadow under his crown with that E47, also a little bit at the bottom of his beard, and then I'm blending that out with the E44. I also added a bit of that E44 to the bottom of his mustache, and then I'll fill in all the rest of the white space with the E43. For the middle guy's skin, I'm using E000, E00, and E11. So again, I'm putting those shadows up under the hairline and at the bottom of his hands with that E11. Blending out with the E00 and finishing with the E000. And then I decided to use that E000 to add the shading on the first wise man's beard and mustache. For the third wise man's skin, I'm going to use E31, E33, and E35. This gives me a nice rich golden brown. So I used that E35 up under his hairline and at the bottom of his hands, blended out with the E33, and finished with the E31. So the highlight for all 3 of these guys ends up right on their nose, which is the most prominent part of the face. So is definitely usually has the most light hitting it. And I'm also going to use these 3 shades to color in the middle wise man's beard and mustache. So all 3 of these shades of markers were really good for both skin and hair, just depending on the look you're going for. And I like that I was able to get a unique look from each of them while still using the same 3 color combos. So I'm moving on to their clothing, and for the first wise man's robe, I wanted it to be a rich purple tone. I'm using V05, V06, and V09. So that V09 is what I'm going to use to lay in my shadows, and there's not a lot of room there, but I am going to squeeze in all 3 shades so I get some nice dynamic coloring. I laid that in first and then blended that out with the V06, but made sure to leave some room for that V05 on all of the areas except for the right hand side where the middle wise man is kind of in front of him, so his body would be casting a shadow there. And then I'm going to also color in the top part of his hat above his crown. So I did a little scalloped shadow that the crown is casting on that fabric, and then blended up with the V06 and filled in the top with the V05. And I will go back later and add the jewel in the middle wise man's crown with that V05 as well. But for his robe, I went with a bright orange. I'm using YR04, YR07, and YR09, coloring in the same way as I did the first wise man. I'm also going to add some of that color to the fabric top of his hat. So the shadows are with the YR09, and then I'm blending that out with the YR07. And then I'll fill in all of the remaining white space with the YR04. And I just really love the really bright, vibrant colors of these robes. I also did the first jewel in the first Wise Man's crown with the YR04, and now I'm moving on to the last Wise Man's robe, and I'm going with a mauve tone for that. I'm using R81, R83, and R85. Again, making sure to leave room for all three of those shades, except for on the left, since the middle Wise Man is out in front. That side would be cast in more shadow, and I use the R85 for the second jewel in the first Wise Man's crown. So for their shifts or tunics or whatever that part of their clothing is called, I'm going to use B60, B63, and B66. So all three of them are going to have this royal blue-ish color. It's a little bit pale, but I was going for a royal look for this under part of their clothing. So I'm using that B66 as my darkest, blending out with the B63, and then filling in the front part with the B60. So it gets a really nice highlight on the front there. It also could read as a white fabric that's just cast in a lot of shadow, since this is going to be an evening scene. But I just really like the way that this kind of unified all three of them by giving them the same color tunic or under shift or whatever it's called there. I'm also going to color in the rest of this middle Wise Man's hat with these shades. So again, just using that B66 to add that shadow on the sides of the body and up under the gift that they are carrying, and then blending out with the B63 and finishing with the B60. And I really love this combination. These are marker shades that I don't pull out that often, but I really love how they looked. It gives it kind of like a dusty baby blue tone that I really love, like a periwinkle almost, or even a light wash of indigo, which was a very valuable dye that was hard to get. So it makes sense that these kings would have that kind of fabric. I used the B66 to color in the last remaining jewel in the first Wise Man's crown. And now I'm moving on to the gifts. So the first gift is supposed to be gold, so I'm making a gold chalice. And I'm coloring that with YR20, YR21, and YR23. I put the darkest color on the outside edges and then blended toward the center. I did go back and add a second layer as well, just to deepen those shades and give it a little bit more saturation. And I'm going to color the third Wise Man's crown with these shades as well. I just put the darkest on the sides and bottom and then blended toward the top with the lighter shades, and also filled in the little circle parts at the top. The third Wise Man is carrying a box of myrrh, and I decided to make that a silver box, sterling silver or whatever kind of silver was available back then. So I'm using C0, C1, and C3, and I'm going to color in the first Wise Man's crown to match that as well. The second Wise Man was carrying frankincense, and I'm going to color that little pot with Y21 and Y26, just so it has a bit of a different tone to it than the gold chalice. So I'm using a second layer of that Y26 to really increase that saturation, and then blending out with the Y21. I did go over that a couple of times to get the look that I wanted. And I decided to give that a jeweled topper as well, so I used the R85 for that one, and then on the myrrh I used the YR04. So now I'll just trim this image out with its coordinating die. So I wanted to use this Frilly Frames quatrefoil die to create a fun shaker card. So I'm starting with the outer portion of the die that's going to give me that stitch detail, and I'm taping that down with some post-it tape to a piece of Lawn Fawn's Blue Jay cardstock. And then I have the insert piece, and I'm going to line that up in the center. And then after I've run it through my die cut machine, I'm going to have all of those little tiny quatrefoil pieces that I can pop out to create a shaker window with this beautiful, elegant design. So I'm going to pop all of those pieces out, and then I'm going to cut down a piece of acetate to be just a sliver smaller than this outer frame. I want to use a very strong adhesive to secure that piece of acetate to the frame. So I'm going to line that with some 1/4 inch score tape. This frame is the perfect width for this size tape. So that I'm just running that around all 4 sides. Then I'll peel off those release papers and line that piece of acetate up in the center of that frame and adhere it to the back. To create a little well, I've also added some thin strips of foam tape to the back, and now I'm just using a powder tool to go around that acetate to make sure that I don't have any static cling. Then I'm going to begin to add in my shaker material, and I'm going to pour that out directly onto my card base, which is another piece of that Lawn Fawn Blue Jay cardstock. I'm using Lawn Fawn's Prismaglitter, Chunky Glitter, and then some Studio Katia mini iridescent stars. So all of my shaker material is nice and flat. If you were using like sequins or something that had a little bit more thickness to it, you may want to use 2 layers of foam tape. But since everything was nice and flat, I was able to just use 1, which kind of eliminates some of the bulkiness of the card and makes it easier for mailing. So that's why I chose to use the flatter shaker material. So I poured that onto the card front, and now I'm peeling off the release papers for the foam tape. And then I'll line that up with the front of the card, make sure that it's on there nice and straight before I press it down, and then go around that with my fingertips to secure it. And then I'll give it a good shake to make sure that that material is moving around well. Then I'm going to move on to my focal panel, and I've got a piece of Lawn Fawn's No. 2 pencil cardstock that I have die cut with the Sunny Studios Slimline Nature borders. And I'm stamping my sentiment in Lawn Fawn Blue Jay ink, and I'm using the one that says, "Wise men still seek him." I did stamp that down several times to make sure that I had a nice bold impression. And because my card base is so dark, I'm actually going to be adding an insert. So I've trimmed down a piece of plain white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the baby Jesus and the little North Star and the sentiment that says, "Oh, come let us adore him." And I just use that same Blue Jay ink. For the focal panel, I've trimmed down yet another piece of that Blue Jay cardstock, and I'm going to stamp some of the stars using Versamark ink, which is just a clear sticky ink that works great for heat embossing. So I'm tapping that ink onto the stamps lightly, and then I'm also pressing down lightly to make sure that I get a nice impression and it's not kind of squished. Then I'm going to coat that with some Ranger Liquid Platinum embossing powder. I made sure that they were coated well and then tapped off any excess from the back side. And then I'm going to bring my heat gun to that. I've let it heat up off to the side for a few seconds, and then I'll heat that from the back and then the front until it's all melted and shiny. I also wanted to add a few distant stars in the sky, so I'm taking the Lawn Fawn embossing pen and just doing little dots here and there to represent those further stars. And then I will coat those with that same embossing powder and heat that up once again. So I have actually die cut 3 of those slimline nature borders from Sunny Studio. The first one that I stamped my sentiment on that you saw earlier, and then I also did one in dolphin cardstock and one in narwhal. And those are to represent the desert sands that the wise men are traversing on their way to find the baby Jesus. So I added the gold one down at the bottom of the scene, and then I tucked the lightest one in between, and then I have the darkest one going up behind that to be the furthest hill. So I have all of those that I just adhered with some liquid glue, and then I can take my wise men image and add some more liquid glue to the back of that, and I'm going to justify it a little bit to the left hand side to balance out the sentiment that is on the right. And because I'm going to be adhering this down to that acetate window, I want to make sure that I'm using a very strong adhesive. So I'm going to go back to my score tape, and I'm going to line the back of this panel with 5 strips of that just to make sure that it's going to be very secure. Not only is it going to be stuck down to that slippery acetate, but there's also the little bit of bumpy texture from that quatrefoil frame. So I want to make sure that I'm using a very strong adhesive so that isn't going to pop up. So I'm going to take my insert and add that to the inside of my card first, just lining that up so I get a nice little frame with that Blue Jay cardstock on the outside edges. And then I can take my focal panel and peel off those release papers, line that up in the center of my card, and pop that down into place. As a finishing touch, I'm going to add a little bit of Stardust Stickles. I didn't want to get too carried away with the glitter, but I definitely wanted to echo some of that glitter that is in the shaker material. So I did add it to the 3 gifts, and then I also added it to the gemstones that are in their crowns, and then to the little circles on the crown of the 3rd wise man as well, so he could have a little sparkle too. And then I wanted to add just a few more stars to the sky, so I'm using very little pressure and just the tip of my nozzle to dot in a few of those so that I have a little bit of sparkle on the top of the scene as well. So I will lift that up to the camera so you can see all of that sparkle and shine, and give you another peek at the inside. And I'll also give that one more shake so you can see that material in action. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. I post new ones every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're interested in any of the products that I used today, you can find those listed and linked below the video. And if you'd like to keep watching, you can find day 18 of the previous 2 years of holiday card series on screen right now. You can click on either one to check them out. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. Bye-bye.